Welcome everyone to the Bourbon Club. The year is 1950, and it's a night like any other inside Bourbon Club, or, as it's affectionately called by those who frequent the lounge, the Bourbon. The lounge is world-renowned and draws not only the best musical talent to its stage, but also the biggest celebrities from around the globe. But as the club's headliner, Mitzi Saxon, was taking the stage this evening, a scream rang out. The club's owner, Johnny James, actually her name is Audrey James, mistake in the script, announced shortly after that a man had been found dead in the band's warm-up room just outside the lounge. And he's back there. They're uncovering him right now. You'll be able to see him during the internet. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. So let's see. So the victim is 32-year-old Louis Phillips, a.k.a. Quick Louie. He was well known to the police as a petty criminal with some mafia gang connections. He has played the snitch in the past, but as of late mostly ran small-time scams, tricking honest folks out of their money. Louis would have done anything for a quick buck, and everything from blackmail to extortion was not beyond this petty crook. He was also a regular at the Bourbon until a few weeks ago when Audrey James barred him for reasons unknown. Quick Louie was shot in the chest at close range. The gunshot residue on his clothes tell us that the killer did not use a silencer, which means that for no one to have heard the gunshots, Louis must have been killed after the band started to play and while the crowd was cheering, waiting for the Bourbon's headlining act, Mitzi Saxon, to take the stage. A pair of black leather gloves has been found in the hallway outside the emergency exit door, and that emergency exit is not really an emergency exit that's marked over there, so please don't try and use that if something happens. The emergency exit's over there in the corner. Beside the warm-up room, which tells us that the killer shot Louis in the warm-up room and escaped through the exit door, depositing the gloves they wore as they fled. The hallway through the emergency exit door leads to the back rooms and ultimately the back door of the club. There's only one other way into this hallway, and that's through the door marked Employees Only, Restricted. It's possible the killer shot Quick Louie, disposed the gloves, and then returned to the lounge through the restricted door unnoticed as though nothing had happened. There are no signs of a struggle, so it's quite possible that Louis Phillips had planned to meet his killer ahead of time. A number of suspects have been identified. These suspects will make themselves known to you shortly. Mitzi took longer than usual to take the stage this evening, and it's during this delay, when the band played and the crowd cheered awaiting her appearance, that it's believed Quick Louie was shot. Why did Mitzi take so long to take the stage? Who had the motive, means, and opportunity to commit this murder? I would like to introduce Jack French, and he will take it from there.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jack French, and I'm a detective with our local police force.
And I would like to welcome everybody to the Bourbon Jazz Club. I am so proud that all of you have graced us with your presence today. Now, I have no idea how this could have possibly happened. I am known for the world-renowned talent that I bring in to my jazz club every weekend for you to enjoy the wonderful talent here. I do love to gamble, especially playing some poker. But you know, I rarely have enough time because I'm always so occupied with the Bourbon. But enough of that, I'd love to introduce you to our headliner today, which is Mitzi.
Thank you so much, Audrey. Yes, welcome everyone, and I do apologize. It seems that the show is going to be postponed for a little while here while we deal with this very unfortunate circumstance. As Audrey mentioned, my name is Mitzi Saxon. I have been the headliner here for a number of years. I have an avid fan base. I'm generally well liked by those around me, but I won't take any flack from anyone, so don't try it. Thank you again all for coming, and I think we'll move on to introducing our lovely cocktail waitress, Miss Jerry.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jerry Gill, short for Geraldine, though please don't call me that. And I am here, I began working Bourbon about 6 months ago, and I am an aspiring actress. So if there's any movie producers in the audience, please talk to me later. And I do all right. I managed to survive on what I'm being paid, but I really, really wanted to work here because I know that this is the place where everyone who's anyone comes to see and be seen.
Oh, hi y'all. I'm Mae Piper. I am a reporter. Well, actually, I am the reporter for the Shh magazine. Now, the Shh magazine, it is the most popular scandal magazine. If it's scandalous, if it's any kind of shocking news, I'm gonna be on the scene. I won't get you. Anyway, most people, when they're talking to me casually, just keep this in mind, some of the things we've discussed, sometimes they end up in the magazine the next day as headliners. Anyway, so a lot of people do like to keep their mouth quiet and tightly shut around me, but don't worry your heads over that because I can coax pretty much any information out of anybody, especially the prominent citizens of this city. I'm the mayor. Anyhow, because of that, those people just don't like me. I got a lot of enemies. I don't really know why, but I mean, I'm good at my job. But my infamy, it's brought me a lot of success. And here's Marilyn. I'm sure you all know her.
I need no introduction for most people. I am Marilyn Cox, and I've been in over 40 movies. I'm sure you'll remember The Good and the Gorgeous, and then there was Blue Porpoise Avenue, and my favorite, The Milkman Only Brings Once. Well, you know, I've been doing this a long time. I am quite famous, and I was discovered at 17 while I was in a laundromat coating my pants. And I have a lot of money, and I like furs and silks and jewels, and men just kind of come and go in my life as I see fit to have them. But, you know, I couldn't possibly be a killer. I mean, famous people don't kill people. My goodness. Then there's you.
Hello, my name is Juliana Rizzio, and I am one of the prominent gangsters in this area. I have 5 brothers. I'm the youngest in the family, and my 5 brothers were killed in an explosion in a warehouse. And I like to wear men's clothes because I think they take a little bit more, they look at me like I'm just not a girl. I must know what I'm doing because I'm wearing a suit.
You do. That's my hobby.
I like guns too.
Well, good evening, folks. I'm Jasper Triggs. And listen here, I take my job very serious. I'm former U.S. military, and I'm a part of security here. So here's the thing. There was a murder tonight, and I'm thinking it had to have been somebody that I'm familiar with, because otherwise nobody else would have gotten past me for this to happen. Folks, I've got a couple people that I'm thinking about. I hope it's none of you out here, but obviously the suspects are right here. So hopefully we can get through tonight and we'll find out who committed this murder.
Can I just say something? Mitzi, do you remember when Quick Louie was heckling you?
Oh, I remember it quite well.
So I'm
He was
just saying,
dreadful.
I'm just saying, he made her feel really bad. Maybe talk to Mitzi a little more.
He said a lot of things to me. He liked to heckle me during my performances. Some of the things that he would say, oh gosh, it makes me blush just to think of them, so I won't be repeating them here. Suffice it to say that he was not, I suppose I have to say now,
my favorite person.
But Mitzi,
And I'm not going to make any secret of that.
I can tell you what he said. I have it written in that article.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Well, first,
You keep
I
that
don't
right
know.
to yourself,
She always
Miss.
gets mad at me.
first things first. So that this evening isn't a total loss, let's get some photos before the crime lab boys show up. Let's take a look at this body over here.
Oh, must we?
Oh, I'm afraid
It's a
so.
dirty job, but I gotta do it.
I'm glad he's done.
Oh,
Yep,
Not a
yep.
loss.
oh my gosh.
Well, it looks like this is the story of the night now.
I got a scoop.
One shot through the chest.
I don't even have to talk to anyone.
Well, Mitzi, I'm
It
sure
looks like
you
it was
are,
that
you
close
are
range.
not a lady of few words. You're a lady of many, many words.
Are you speaking to me?
No, Mitzi, I'm not. I'm actually speaking to.
They, I thought I heard my
I'm
name.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a little confused with everything that's happened to the club today.
It's right on cousin.
Audrey, I know.
But anyway, so who do you think, since you are here taking pictures while this is all happening, which I'm very curious about.
I think you know why I was taking those pictures.
Oh, well, do tell us, do
I was hired to.
Oh, really? Well, who hired you? It certainly wasn't me.
Well,
Why would I hire you to come to my club on the performance of, the kickoff performance of the fall season with Mitzi? Why would you?
Well, I can't tell you. Well, I can tell you, but he can't tell you now, Billy,
Of course
because he's not
he
his
can't.
dad.
But you can tell us.
Well, the dead man, he hired me.
Why would he do such a thing?
I don't think I'm supposed to really tell you that, was I?
Well, how interesting is that?
He hired, can you help me out here?
Well, I sure can. First, I want to know, don't bother me here. You know she works for Shh Magazine. She's on the up and up. Who would suspect her of anything? I want to know, Mitzi, why did it take you so long to come out on stage when everybody was cheering for you to get out there?
Mitzi, we want to know.
Well, it's a little bit embarrassing. But I suppose in the interest of getting this unpleasant drama wrapped up, I will confess.
Confess to what?
Oh, my hair.
Your hair.
Your hair.
My hair. This dreadful hot weather, the curl fell out and I had to run back to my
Oh, my
cousin's room
goodness.
about that.
Oh.
Well,
To
now,
fix my hair. That's the only reason I was
See, I
late.
can't
This
feel
is dreadful.
But it took you over a minute. When I came out of the room to introduce
Do you think that this takes 1 minute?
Well, no, it certainly doesn't take 1 minute, but you knew, we gave you the 5 minutes. You knew that it was time for you to come on stage.
well, now
I
I
cannot be seen on stage looking anything less than my best, especially tonight.
Oh.
want to talk to our owner here. You told us that you are a lover of poker. Isn't that right?
Well, that's a good poker game, I mean.
A good poker game.
Yes.
So besides slinging bourbon,
I, first of all, never
jazz.
sling bourbon.
your club though, your club. Besides drinks and dancing and jazz, is there anything else that goes on here at the Bourbon Club? Maybe, behind the scenes, in the dark?
Oh, and what would have ever given you that idea?
Well, lots of things go on in the dark, you know that.
Absolutely, lots of things go on in the dark.
Especially in a jazz club. They're supposed
Absolutely.
to.
But you're the one who said that you love a good poker game. Where do those good poker games go on?
Well, I don't know. They go
I
on.
don't see how this is even relevant
This
to
isn't
the
relevant.
fact that the gentleman is dead here, and you're asking about games and things like that.
Well, Jasper, then, okay, I'll ask you about yourself here. You say you take your job very seriously,
Of
sir.
course. I've protected a lot of important people.
And you have, and you've been doing security here for quite a while now.
Oh, he's one of my most trusted security people.
One of your most trusted security.
Absolutely. One of them.
So, there isn't anything at all that would ever lead you to look the other way if somebody was trying to get into the employee-only area over there?
I don't understand, where you're going with this.
Does
It's not
anybody
a question. I
No,
mean,
that's
why
not
don't you,
true.
why don't you ask the guy
I
who's
do.
in charge,
Marilyn, I do.
Oh,
I do.
well, you know about this,
I
Miss
do.
Cox.
I was on my way to the washroom, and
Okay.
I passed by the employee-only restricted door, and I saw you poke your head out and say to someone else, I couldn't see or hear him, "Have you seen Jerry?" "Well, no, I haven't seen Jerry. Why?" "Well, I haven't seen her for a half an hour, and we need her now."
She was talking another accent.
Well,
Was she
just
Mickey Mouse?
who was this customer? Why did you need Jerry? Jerry?
Jerry's over there.
And
And that's
why
one of those
was
things.
Jerry not seen for a half an hour?
Well,
Yes.
Tell us, Jerry, where were you?
bathroom.
Really?
That
Right
doesn't sell
before the murder,
magazines
you were in
either.
the bathroom, really?
Well,
Come on.
see, I don't much care for Quick Louie, and
Oh, who did?
you threw him out
No
a
one
week
was
ago.
gonna say no.
I did throw him
And
out.
I thought
Thank
I
you.
was
Thank you
never
for
going to
that.
have to see him again, and then there he was, and I was upset, and I was angry, and so I went into the bathroom to calm down.
I don't
I
care.
mean, they
Did you
changed
date
the
him?
professionalism. Oh, good Lord, no.
And why
No
was
one-
it?
No one here would date him.
Well, I did see her in the bathroom. She
You
was
did?
there, yeah, after
That's right,
I
you were
walked
there
by,
briefly.
after I walked by the door, I walked in and there was Jerry, and then Jerry left before I left, and I walked out right before Mitzi, with her beautiful voice, was going to sing.
And-
But we still don't know who you were talking to.
Listen, folks, I can wrap this up tonight, all right?
Yeah,
I can help everybody wrap this up
Totally that when I
tonight.
see it.
I've got a couple of people in mind who I think are pretty good suspects. And yes,
Nathan,
I can
I'll know
tell
what he's
you
talking about.
that
I don't know.
I did have trouble trying to find Jerry this evening.
Mm.
You heard
Yeah, I don't know if I believe the whole bathroom story, but,
She was there,
It
I
is
saw
kind of
her.
suspicious.
she's somebody who I work with, and I
It is
trust her, and
amazing.
considering that I can usually get a hold of her when I need her, and the fact that, at this particular time, I couldn't find her, that leads me to, being suspicious of her. The other person who I keep a close eye on, or I did keep a close eye on tonight, and I didn't happen to see where she was at the time of the murder, was this lady right here from Shish Magazine.
Well, now May was with me. She was sitting at my table, and then she excused herself for a few minutes. She said she had some business to
Some
take
lady
care
that
of.
thinks you see.
She wasn't gone that long. I mean,
Well, where
How long does it
were
take
you
to
if
shoot a
you
gun?
were gone? If you were gone that long, he's right. How long does it take to shoot a gun? Where were you?
Not long.
Miss Magazine.
Jack, do I have to tell them?
Yeah, you do.
All right.
she asked you.
I found something, I heard something first from the dead man. So he paid me to go get pictures. This is quite shocking, and I told you I reveal shocking things. This is a prestigious club, supposedly.
Of course it is. Very prestigious.
But there is
There's no
a gambling ring, a casino room in the back.
May,
I
you
got the
weren't
pictures.
supposed to tell them that, yeah?
Yes.
Come on, May, you know that's
And-
why
and
you and
how
I
do you
are
know
both
that?
here.
But that's, I saw it, I took pictures.
in the supposed room.
Yes, ma'am. In fact, I was sent here tonight by the chief of D's to arrest you for that illegal gambling operation.
I told Jack what was going on.
That's right.
Why would you do that?
Well,
Look at his smile,
we-
come on now.
We worked together on some things.
I see.
Well, the two of you were
Together?
together on a few things.
Oh,
On
I
a few
see
business
it now.
matters,
And
yeah.
what were those business matters? That
Well-
you accuse me of this ring.
I want to move forward in the department. I want to make detective first grade by the end of the year. And so whenever there's a big story in town, I call May. She gets the scoop for magazine, and then she, compensates me for the information.
I told you I was good.
And compensated how?
I'm good at a lot of things.
I'm sure you are.
I think that perhaps we ought to take a step back and let's figure out where everyone was at the time of the murder.
That's a very good idea.
Forget about this whole gambling thing anyway,
I
Jack.
saw
I
you.
mean, for crying out loud, I don't understand why Jack's so concerned about this whole gambling thing, this supposed gambling thing. We need to find out who the murderer was.
There's a dead body over there and it's going to start to smell.
Well, let's, alrighty, Mitzi, where were you in this all?
I was in my dressing room attending to my coiffure.
That's right, and I came out of the green room.
I'm gonna say hey.
Really, you're that much of a reporter and you don't know how to spell, anyway. But look at the magazine she represents. Yes.
Each one of you, I'm sure, has.
So, what took you so long? I came out of the green room after all of this happened. I was in the employee-only restricted area when the murder happened. And I was taking care of some business that had to be taken care of. And when I came out, I went over to the green room. I told you it was time to go on. I went out and I started to introduce you. And while everybody was clapping for you and cheering you on, it took you almost a minute to
We
come
have already been through this, darling. It's not easy to get my hair looking this good. It took me a little bit of time.
Sure that you didn't lure Quick Louie here to get rid of him because you did kick him out a week ago?
She did.
And I distinctly heard you tell our security guard to let him in just this once.
Well,
Are you
yes.
sure it wasn't
Really?
for that?
Why would you do that,
Yes,
Audrey?
I did.
Why?
Did. Well, I had something I had to settle with Quick Louie today. And
like
for one evening only, I told security that he can come in the room and
as
that's
usual,
it.
he's disappeared.
Now, wait a
That's
minute,
it.
Audrey.
Oh, he might have warned me.
Audrey,
I don't like
I didn't know if I should warn you because the last time I know he was heckling you.
That's why you
I know
banned
that.
him.
And that is why I banned him. But I also didn't want
I
to tell
turned
you
him off.
because when I saw all this happening, you said to me, Audrey, if you let him back in, I'm gonna kill him.
I did say that, and I'll stand by it. I said that tonight.
now Audrey,
However,
I distinctly remember, I was in the lounge, and I was waiting till after Mitzi came out on stage and finished her act, because that's when there would have been the greatest attention for me to bust up that gambling ring and get the most publicity out of it. And I heard your security guard, Jasper, Quick Louie came up to him at the employee-only door and asked to be let in, and Jasper told him he could not get in, and then Quick Louie left, very, very angry. He left right after that and went out to the foyer. That was tonight. About 15 minutes before he was found dead.
Okay.
ooh,
All right.
Marilyn,
Well, Quick Louie, a couple of weeks ago, I don't know what happened with Jasper. He was slacking on the job, which rarely happens, and we talked about this.
I don't
And
know.
this is not
I've never
going
seen
to
that.
happen again.
I stuck right
But unfortunately, I trust people who
How
I
did you
get
guys sneak in? Got the
access to the room. And he let him in, he snuck in, Louie snuck in, Quick Louie snuck in, without Jasper knowing, without me knowing. Yes, okay, I have a little bit of a gambling problem, but can you blame me? I like a good poker game, and if I can't play good poker, then I let them go behind, and they are playing poker games and blackjack back there, and it's a good little supplemental income to
And
me.
everyone's gonna have that.
Everybody has their vices, so I'm able to get a few extra things by earning extra money.
Man, we got more of a story tonight than we thought we would.
Yes,
But now
yes,
we've got a murder, Audrey, then, go ahead.
you know,
Where were
this
you?
gambling, well, listen,
That must be an offer you didn't want.
Marilyn, I suddenly
But your gambling oftentimes is tied to, not necessarily yours, but it's been known that gambling's been tied to gangsters. And it just so happens that good old Juliana Rizzio has the only guy that I know of in this club. And so, are there any gunshot residue on your hands?
Well, if you look at my
here?
gun, you'll see it
Sounds
has
like
not been shot.
area of expertise is going into
Well-
the next issue, you know.
Okay, Juliana,
I was
where
in
were
the
you?
lounge the whole time.
This is going on.
I was in the lounge the whole time drinking my champagne.
Who can vouch for
Not
that? Who
that.
can see that you were there? Who can see that you were there?
Did you notice that I was in the lounge?
I had my eye on a couple of other people tonight.
Oh, really?
Did you?
One of those others,
Because you're supposed to be protecting my club, my interests.
right? And that's why
And
I
you screwed up by letting Louis in.
Well, listen,
I thought you said you wanted him to come in. I thought you said that Louis was
Oh,
allowed to come in.
The first time that Louis was let in was by a complete mistake. Louis was a thorn in everybody's side.
Yes, he
Oh, that-
was.
Not when he paid me.
Louis found out that I was running this ring. I could not let that go quiet. And when he came, he's the first time, he said to me, Audrey, I'm going to expose you. Unless, you be quiet, shh, to you.
Is right.
He told me that unless he got a cut, he was going to go to the police. Well, I couldn't have that happen. And I know he heckled Mitzi, but I had to take care of business. So I told Jasper to let him in tonight so that we could go and talk. And I was going to tell him that he is not going to be blackmailing me, and that after tonight, I was shutting the club down.
Oh, my.
Oh, my word.
Because I did not
Excuse me.
I did not want him to take me down. This is not going to happen. So after tonight, we're closing the club.
Oh,
That doesn't bother me.
But when I met him today, so Jasper let him in, I met him today, we took care of business, and that was it. I left him in the green room, or I left him in the employees only room, went to the green room, and that was it. That was it. I went to
That's
interview
it.
Who else spoke to Quick Louie?
Wait, I want to know why you don't want to see him.
See who?
She ran into the bathroom when we got here and didn't want to see him, remember? She said that.
Oh, she can vouch for me and where I was, because she was in exactly the same place. You tell them, little Miss Jerry, what you've been doing to earn that extra money.
What you hired me to do.
Oh, yes,
Give
it
drinks?
was.
I deal blackjack in the casino.
Oh, I see.
Yep, if I'm going down, they're all going down.
I had to. I needed to earn more money because Quick Louie took all of mine.
He did.
When I came here 6 months ago, he promised to take me around and show me to all of his connections and help me to wine and dine people so that I could be a movie star like Marilyn Cox. He told me that if I met the right people, that I could maybe even be even bigger than she is. Except
Oh, honey.
that all he did was make me pay for his social activities.
So
And when you
this,
kicked him out, I was hopeful I would never have to see him again.
Well, I had to kick
And then
him out.
there he
I
was.
couldn't-
sounds
I
like
had
a
to
good reason for
protect-
a murder to me.
I am
This is
in the washroom. We've been over this.
Marilyn, I
yes.
I realize that you think you're beyond suspicion, given that lengthy catalog of movies that you've starred in. I guess, well, we use the word actress a little bit loosely here. However, I saw you, so don't try to deny it. I saw you talking to that petty little crook, Quick Louie, and I saw what happened between you.
He's dead now. Y'all know that?
Yahoo! I do, and I.
You know, and I.
And I would like, do you want me to explain it? Do you want me to explain what I saw, or would you like to clear your conscience, come clean, and let all of these good people at the club know what your relationship was with?
Marilyn, you won't go further than this.
You better get your pen ready. You better take notes.
All right. Louis was blackmailed.
Somehow
What a
I'm not
surprise! Who hasn't he been blackmailing?
Pretty much.
And he came to me about 2 years ago. I have been writing him checks every month, you know, to keep him quiet. Because he was
Why?
quiet, he did what he was supposed to do. He was keeping quiet because I was afraid he would go to you. And,
why?
you know, well, who's gonna believe magazine? I mean, everybody knows it.
Everybody here has
It's
a
not
copy.
true. I mean, you read it for fun, but it's not true. It's all true. So he was blackmailing me a long time ago when I was young and desperate for some good jobs. I posed for some questionable photographs.
Oh.
Well, I thought it was
Now
fine,
it becomes
and
clear.
then the photographer actually came and gave me the negatives a couple of years ago, and well, I burned them, of course, and I thought that was the end of it. Well, lo and behold, Louis must have gotten copies of the photographs somehow, and he came to me, and he threatened to take them to me, and well, you know, I will admit, you know, I'm not getting any younger, and these younger girls are coming up and whatnot, but a starlet does a lot of things in her life that sometimes she's just not real proud of.
Sounds to me like a
Yeah.
good reason to
Well,
go to
take it
one
upstairs.
no,
Yeah.
it's not plenty of money. It wasn't the money. I wasn't worried
Ruining
about
a 4
that.
Academy Award
Lots and
career.
lots of money, but
I have
no,
so much material, it is.
that was it.
Oh my goodness.
I think she's in
And she's what I was
do.
afraid of. And twisting everything around and making it sordid and ugly. And not good and
Thanks,
gorgeous.
ladies. Did you say where you were?
I was in the lounge the whole time.
But seriously, that's it. You
That's
were,
it.
you didn't hear or see or anything?
I just enjoyed myself in the
Why
lounge.
did you come here today?
That's like a
You're not
serious.
regular.
Because I wanted to see all of you.
But you're
Why?
not regular. How'd
See
you
all
find
of
out about
these
us?
people? It's interesting.
Well, and I heard this was a great place to go.
Oh, really?
To gamble, I'm sure.
My brothers,
Oh, and who would your brothers be?
They're dead.
Wait, so how did they tell
Who
you
are
you were
brothers?
dead?
well, I know my brothers really well, and they told me this was a place to come.
For what?
Unfortunately, they're gone.
They're gone where?
They're dead
They're dead.
So how
6 feet under.
We're beginning to think maybe she
in the
did.
explosion at the warehouse.
So Juliana,
Oh.
Tell us more about this
What
explosion.
where?
Do we hear more about those?
The
Why
one
don't you
down,
write a story on that?
Oh, guess what? We're best friends now.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Who owned the warehouse?
Who owned the
Anybody in
warehouse?
here?
well, actually, our buddy on the floor actually invited my brothers over for a shipment.
The brothers who are dead.
Shipment of,
I can't tell you, I don't know. My brothers didn't share that with me.
And your brothers died in the warehouse accident?
All five of
Sounds
them.
like
All five.
revenge.
Oh. And you do like to carry that gun home?
I love guns.
do.
I like the whole look.
we can see that.
I don't dress like a
Missing
floozy.
at any point, did it? Oh, this is hardly a Floozy's outfit. This is a classic.
I would catch myself dressing
So
in
tell me
that.
what
Well,
you think
first
of
now,
everybody.
who as a lady would be wearing that drabby clothes?
You take me
pretending to be a
serious
man?
dressing like this. Don't I look serious?
You look confused, but that's okay.
Yes,
Because you're about to
So my brothers died, so I'm kind of
That's the
representing
word.
them with their clothes.
Misguided, would be
Yes.
what I would look at, yeah.
This was my brother's suit. And I just feel like I should be wearing it as a representation of him.
Jack, I'm pretty sure everyone but us, they're all suspects.
No, they all-
Just read them all.
It is a police
no, I'm not,
and
I'm
how
not taking
Yes,
anybody
I know this from the
downtown,
kind.
so I have more
But I don't
information.
like it. I don't like
Gave it
it.
to a secondhand store.
So, So Mitzi,
Yes.
Jack?
so you said
Detective
you
Jack
were,
to you, excuse me?
you were in the ladies' room.
No, I was in my dressing room.
No,
Yes.
you didn't say that. You said you were in the ladies' washroom.
No,
Fix-
you're
Oh,
not.
I'm sorry, fixing your hair.
I assure
He was
you.
just testing us.
You were fixing your hair.
Yes.
He's like Columbo.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Like who?
You don't like him too.
Okay,
Another sexy detective.
so now,
You don't know how hard
How-
it is to be a woman looking the way I do.
I certainly don't know how it is to
He
be a
doesn't
woman.
even notice you.
So tell me, Mitzi, again, did you know Quick Louie?
Quick Louie, I said I did know.
No, her,
I think
Mitzi.
you're talking to me. Thank you.
Mitzi.
Said Audrey, yes.
Did you know Quick Louie?
I knew him from the club. He would come and heckle me. He said some very rude and crude and unforgivably
He was rude.
déplacé things
He was.
to me when I was up on stage. He was
Yes.
disruptive. Oh,
Did
yes.
Quick Louie know you before you came to work here at the Bourbon?
I have no information about that. I have nothing to say about that.
All right.
Quick, Louie, that's terrible name for a man.
So,
Quick Louie was
Cutting
quite a
the
prince. Quick Louie was quite a prince. Blackmailing most of us.
Yes.
so Jerry,
Off-color commentary.
when Quick Louie promised to help you get into big time and strung you along for a while, didn't he?
He's a very smart man.
And took you to cleaners, that made you angry. I'm sure it did.
Why do you think I ran to the washroom instead of confronting him?
Did you run to the washroom to get away from him, or did you?
Yes.
You did. You
I
ran.
thought I would never have to see him again.
I see.
And then he was there, and I was upset. And so I went to what I hoped was a safe space to calm down so I could be professional and do my job and earn the money that I need because he took it from me.
I see.
Was there some kind of convention in the washroom
being-
tonight, or what?
Yeah, I was thinking that
I wasn't there.
That's a big washroom, huh?
too. I wasn't there.
I was.
So May, my dear cohort,
Yes, detective.
I have to ask this. I mean, I am a professional. So when you left the lounge,
Oh, he's not asking me, Mary.
when you left the lounge, and you said you had some business to attend,
Yes,
15 minutes before the shooting,
yes.
where did you go and what kind of business did you have to attend?
It was our business, let's just get that out there now, but
All right.
somebody,
What kind of business? Oh,
Mr. Quick over
Mr.
there,
Quick, yeah.
he
Quick did,
he
yeah.
saw us talking, and he figured out what was gonna happen. So we got in a big argument, and that was it. We had words.
You had words with Quick Louie.
Only words?
Mr. French, I
Honey,
think
I
you
am
need
a
to
writer.
concentrate
Come
on
on,
the
I'm a
last
reporter.
two suspects that you've been questioning. I think you're on the right track there.
I think that thug needs to shut it. You have
That
something else I can.
it is
Now-
very respectable.
Words.
Really, because where was he
You've yelled at him
when I got
before.
to sneak
Yeah,
in?
he works for me. I'm allowed to yell at him. Nobody else
Jasper?
is.
For not doing his job.
Jasper, you know, I've been at this work a long time, and somebody who put suspicion on two other ladies, two other people, women especially, now Jasper, I gotta level with you. Usually you're trying to deflect away from something you wanna hide. What do you wanna tell me right now? Well, what will you tell me right now about your association with Quick Louie?
And the whole world.
I mean, really, I've got nothing to hide, and that's why I'm trying to help you out here, Jack.
Oh, well,
I'm
I'm sure
trying
you
to
are.
put you on the right track, because those
You
are a couple of young ladies that I feel that really you need to question further.
No,
To find
Jack,
out
no,
who
gentlemen.
murdered this gentleman tonight.
Jack, you need to ask him how I was able to sneak back in and get pictures. He wasn't at his
Well,
house.
ask him that,
Well,
man.
I try to ask him if he's a thug.
So Jasper, yeah, how was it that you allowed Quick Louie to get back there?
And
then,
leave, get in.
And then, yes, and finally though, right before the killing, you told him he had to leave, where you let him in before.
Well, Listen, I take my job very serious.
Your boss said you've been
Yes, we
slacking
are.
on the job
You
for a
know what?
couple of
He
weeks.
said that so many times.
I don't know,
He
it's
just
like
messed up
saying-
once by letting that quick Louie in.
It only takes once.
It does, and we had words, and it would never happen again.
Thank you, Gambler Queen. I just needed something for you to say.
I mean, I can tell you, you know, I served in the military. I did everything I could to defend this country. You know, I'm a man of honor, and I also, you know, I'm the same way with my boss here. I'm always making sure I am tip top with security around here.
No, you're not, because I snuck in and you weren't there.
Now,
So
How many ways do I have to say
Where
it?
were you?
Where were you?
so,
All right. I mean,
Whoa,
really,
whoa,
Come clean, come clean.
Where was he?
Where were you?
where were you, Jasper?
listen,
He doesn't want to
you
say.
know,
Where were you, Jasper?
No, answer the,
all right, fine. You know, the one thing that affected my job this evening, and that's why I'm
Was
pretty,
killing quick.
I'm pretty sure that it had to have been somebody who was familiar with me, and I'm familiar with them. But you know what? I was wondering what this whole convention in the washroom was, because I went to the washroom. These other people.
Not a ladies'
I went to the men's washroom for crying out
plot
loud.
thickens.
Which is something that I typically, you know, I mean, it's
All right.
like somebody was keeping an eye on me, making sure, you know, they took that first opportunity to sneak on in, and that's why I'm trying to keep an eye on, I'm trying to figure out
Not very
who was the
good.
one who committed the murder, you know, who actually
I mean, he's dead.
murdered tonight.
So Jasper, do you often frequent the ladies' washroom?
Ew!
Come on, Mr. French, I mean,
I'm asking you.
I
You
was not
pointed,
no
you
lady.
pointed the
See him in there,
finger,
did you see him in there?
you
I'm
pointed the
just saying,
finger.
when I went back to
Men's
the washroom area, I never saw any of these other ladies back then, that's all I'm saying.
I have a question. We've established that no silencer was used.
Exactly.
That's right.
Why didn't any of us hear the gunshot? I can explain why I didn't hear it. I did hear a pop or a bang or whatever you would like to call it as I was coming out, but I thought it was a bottle of champagne. That happens all the time.
You need some champagne.
You do. We all do at this point. I think I need something stronger than champagne. Let's bring on that
I'm not sure
bourbon.
Champagne's gonna do it.
Audrey, yeah.
Yeah.
Bring on that bourbon, ladies.
Makes no sense.
No one else heard it? Did anyone
Nobody.
hear a gunshot?
Did you hear a pop?
No, because during the applause, waiting for Mitzi to come out must have been when the shot was fired.
I'm thinking it had to have been as the band was playing.
Yes.
Someone's
And it took
thinking.
her over a minute to get in there, so that was enough time for somebody to slip out, kill him, and come back.
You know,
Which is probably you.
You have been asking a lot of
this
questions.
is very good.
That's my
point,
job.
Marilyn.
Really, no one has been asking, where were you?
He is
You
a
were
detective.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know
we're
how
all on the
dirty
side.
they can
Oh,
be.
look at his smile. Come
Dirty
on.
cop, dirty
You
cop.
know he didn't do
So
nothing.
detective, where
So
were you?
You.
I was in the lounge waiting for May to come back.
Thank you.
And who
She
can
did.
vouch for that?
I saw him in the lounge.
You did. Of course you were.
But she's a gangster. She tells, well, she's
I
probably
was
telling the truth.
waiting,
This
I was
is detective.
waiting to see Mitzi do her act, because as soon
As are all
as
these good
Mitzi,
people.
as soon as Mitzi was done, was when I was going to go through and bust up the gambling ring and arrest you, as I said.
Well, there's nothing to arrest. It's done and over with as of tomorrow. We have-
Well, I'll be back. This is a case.
I've
of
got
conduct.
pictures.
Was,
First, we have a murder to deal with.
was Quickie, Louie,
Oh, don't pretend like you don't know his name.
He was blackmailing you for 2 years.
Yes,
was
Marilyn.
he blackmailing you? Did you have any relationship with him?
It's a good
Mr.
question.
Well, I
You're
have
proud of
to
you,
say, all right, May, the jig is up. It was Quick Louie who told me about the gambling ring. He's the one who got me here tonight to bust that up.
I thought I gave you that information.
Rats.
You know, it's okay. It's a good story. Keep going.
So that's why I came here tonight.
No, I thought you came because of me, but that's...
Well, I got you here to take pictures so you'd get the scoop. And then you paid me my customary $100 for the scoop.
Really, $100? That's all.
Oh, wait a second, I got paid by Quick too.
$100 is a lot of money on a policeman's salary in 1950.
I got paid by Quick. Wasn't just that.
So we've established that Quick Louie was blackmailing me, blackmailing you, blackmailing you, blackmailing you. So
I am not
wait a
being
minute,
blackmailed.
was
I have never been
Black Louie blackmailing
Quick Louie?
you?
No.
Quick Louie.
No, I worked for him. He hired me to take pictures, but I
Worked for you or blackmailed you to work
No,
for him?
I worked for him.
Yes.
And what about you?
Don't
Did
mess with
Darling
Louie.
Quick Louie blackmail you?
Never. No, he
He was just rude to her.
Exactly. He was out in the open. He was there in the audience. He was
But it was the
heavily.
best article I ever wrote.
It's also the trashiest article you have
Yes.
Yes.
Jimmy, I have things to say about you.
Well,
I do have to say one thing about the magazine. At least my bird cage, well, my bird cage loves, it's perfect lining for the bird cage.
Sticks and stones.
Okay, let's hear from the characters, who they think did it. Do you want to start, Audrey?
Yes, I will start. I actually think that it was me. Now, you have to remember, we don't know who did it. So I think it
Yes.
was me because I really did have the most to lose. But if it wasn't me, I think it would be Juliana because she's just a little bit odd out there and she could answer some questions. She's in the gang and all that, so.
Yeah. So I think, it's a really, really difficult choice to make. I think it was Juliana. I think that she goes to great lengths to present, a very menacing gangster appearance and is looking to move up in the ranks, as other people have suggested, and is avenging her 5 brothers.
Alright, well, I think it's Mitzi, because she was in the dressing room, which is right off of the green room where he was killed, and she was really close to where it happened, and potentially knew he was in there, and if she had the moment, she would have taken that. If she realized he was there, I think you would have taken that crime of passion in the moment, not premeditated.
Not passion. It would not be passion. There would be no passion.
You're always the last one to know when you're wrong.
well, I got up to finger one person, and hearing all this very good discussion from you as a wonderful audience. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here. And special thanks to our sponsor for this evening, which is the
Team Dijon.
All right. So I was going to accuse Jasper here because he refused entrance to Quick Louie about 15 minutes before the killing. But that's not enough motive because Quick Louie went away angry. That's motive for Quick Louie to come back and gun down Jasper, not the other way around. So, May, sorry, hate to throw you under the streetcar, but
Sounds like he doesn't really know.
we came here to break up this illegal gambling operation, get me a big arrest, and get her a scoop, and we agreed together we'd come back in a few weeks after the murder to bust up the gambling ring. I think that the lovely and talented May Piper was so eager for the scoop of her career that she killed Quick Louie just to cover the story.
What are y'all acting like that's okay? It's not. But I will say that is a good article. Well, I was going to say it was Miss Miss over here, but maybe it's you. But no, I think you did because your 5 brothers were killed. But you really don't know it was Mr. Quick over there, but just in case, you're coming after him, but I'm having words with you later.
Smile's not so cute now, is it? Well, as I said at the beginning, I knew I didn't do it. But I do think that, but I really don't know that. And I do think it was Juliana. I think she had a troubled childhood with all the drugs. And no power. And poor thing, then when Louis got rid of her 5 brothers, there was just this evil revenge in her heart. And so she threatened her brothers and she got Louis and she died. So I think it was you.
Well, I'd have to say with all the information that I have, it led me to believe, and, from the get-go, it was either May or Jerry. Now, to me, the whole Juliana thing kind of, with the gun and all that stuff, just seems to be a little too obvious to me. So, with the information that I have, I'm thinking more so Jerry did it.
Serious.
That would be good for her career.
Well, actually, I think I did do it. I have a lot of reasons why I want him to get out of here. With my 5 brothers gone, and me having to take over their place, I do think that she looks like she's the guilty one.
Okay, well, that's interesting. We've got two suspects that think they did it. Now, I actually know who did it, but before I tell you, I want to tell you that we have 2 cemetery walks coming up. The Plymouth Historical Museum has very popular cemetery walks in October. We have one on October 5th and one on October 26th. And we still have tickets available, which is very unusual. They usually sell out by now. But there are tickets available, and I can, in fact, sell you some tonight if you're interested. It's $15 a person, and we have quite a few times available still, although most of the later times are sold out. So there are flyers somewhere around if you're interested. Yes?
Mention the T-shirt too.
Oh, yes, and this year we're selling T-shirts that actually have a pattern on the front of them that look kind of like the flyer, except without all those words on it. Except it says Plymouth Ghost Cemetery. I think it says, I survived the Plymouth, or I came out alive from the cemetery walk or something like that. So anyway, we'll be selling, we have them in the store here when we're open, and we'll be selling them at the cemetery. They're $15 a piece, and the tickets for the cemetery walk are $15 a piece. And that was my commercial. Okay, now, you probably want to know who did it. Yeah.
Oh, no, not at all.
No? You just want to go home now?
Clear out the club. We're done.
All right, so, to solve this mystery, you were told to find the suspect who had the motive, means, and opportunity to kill Quick Louis Phillips. While everyone seemed to have a motive or opportunity, only one of the suspects had all 3. The motive, means, and opportunity. That suspect was Geraldine Gill. What can I say, Geraldine? Or as most people here know her, Jerry. Jerry came to town on a bus with hundreds of other young women with dreams of fame and fortune. Ever since she has been working as a cocktail waitress and a croupier in Audrey James's secret backroom casino, which is accessible to the trusted VIP customers via the employees-only restricted door. With stars in her eyes, Jerry was glad to work at the Bourbon. Sure that the stream of celebrities, agents, and casting directors who frequent the lounge would put her in the right place at the right time for stardom. She was struggling to get by as it was, and that's when she met Quick Louis. Louis promised to help her get on the fast track to stardom for a price. The way Louis made it sound, in just weeks he would have her starring in films and dining with the glitterati. And so she retained his services, and the two began to hit the town on the nights Jerry wasn't working at the Bourbon. Months passed, and Jerry's life savings were spent. She was out of money and still no closer to stardom. That's when she realized Quick Louie had scammed her out of all of her money. When she confronted him about it, he merely laughed at her. The first wrong move Jerry made was lying about her whereabouts at the time of the murder. She said she was in the back area behind the restricted door, but this was not true. The security guard was looking for her in the lounge because she wasn't in the back area to serve her customer, a VIP customer who wanted to gamble at her table. Marilyn saw her in the washroom just before the murder occurred, so she was definitely near the crime scene. And she had the motive. Quick Louie had scammed her out of her life savings with promises of fame and fortune, and then laughed at her when she confronted him. Seeing Quick Louie in the club tonight was enough to push this mild-mannered waitress over the edge and into murder. Geraldine Gill, aka Jerry, is guilty of the murder at the Bourbon Club.